Okay, hi everyone. My name is Adriana. I'm joined here with my beautiful grandmother, Caitlin, and we are not blood related, but we are a star family here. So we are very excited to welcome you here to our very first podcast. We're calling this Heart to Heart Astrology Podcast. And we are going to be discussing important astrological influences, how it will affect you, how to best prepare, and also the energetics involved and the healing that is involved. And yeah, specifically with this video, we are going to be discussing the Libra lunar eclipse coming up, and we will follow it by a beautiful prayer that my grandmother Caitlin has put together, and then we will close with a tarot card. So we will start with some brief introductions since this is our first video doing this. So my name again is Adriana. I've been a tarot reader now, I can't believe, for 4 years now. I started. So back when the COVID pandemic was starting, I fully invested into doing this type of work. But I have to give credit to my grandmother for actually kind of getting the ball rolling with that, with me planting that seed when I was very young. We always just, connected very energetically with things. And I still have my oracle cards that she gave me when I was a kid. So didn't think I would end up using more of those. So now I work with the tarot and oracle cards. So and I have been doing astrology. We both have been studying astrology together. She has taught me a lot. She's a really great astrology teacher. And yeah, we've really invested into this the past year. And then if you want to go ahead and give your introduction.
Yes. Well, I just love you. I have to say that. Heart to heart.
Love you too.
And check out my t-shirt, everybody. Here we go.
Oh, we got our eclipse ready.
Moon and all of the stars.
Beautiful. Perfect for the eclipse.
Yes, it is. It is. So, my background, good Lord, it goes back pretty far. Possibly previous incarnations, but I definitely have always been involved in metaphysical because my parents were very metaphysically based. So I was very blessed in that time era to have parents that my mom taught me yoga in 1970. My dad started taking me to health food stores and vitamin and nutrition when like in the mid 60s, like 65 or something. So I still to this day live what I was taught. And of course, I've shared quite a bit with you, Adriana, and I'm so happy that you're gotten involved now in the astrology and that we can share this heart-to-heart astrology together. It's just special since you're all the way across the ocean and we miss you so much.
Yeah, so we're coming from the US and the UK.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, my background, I forgot to mention this, I went way back, but I'm a Reiki master for 27 years and Kundalini yoga yogini for since 1987. I don't even know how many years that is. It was a long time ago. And so I've been involved in so many things in the metaphysical way, and it's just a part of my soul, part of my journey. And I love to teach. I love to share. I love to offer to others my intuition and healing abilities as well. So that's a little bit of my story. But let's jump in to what we're here for. And I'm going to start off with just what is a lunar eclipse? A lot of people don't even know. Um, it happens twice a year when Earth is in alignment with the full moon. It has to be a full moon and the sun. And while the sun casts the Earth's shadow upon the full moon, it can create a red color. And to be honest, I've never seen it live. I've only seen it in pictures, even as old as I am. I've never seen it that I can recall.
I haven't either,
Yeah, but it's supposed to last for several hours. And you can see it. I think you have to be in the right place, and it has to be more of a total alignment, and we don't have a total alignment with this one.
Right.
Now, the solar eclipse coming up on April 8th, and we'll have another video for that
Mhm.
that we're going to do together. That will be a total eclipse, and we're blessed. I'm in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and we have one of the prime places to get the total solar eclipse. So we're very excited here. The state is all abuzz with solar everything.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, back to where we are. So on March 25th, it's during the full moon in the zodiac sign of Libra. This lunar eclipse may be more difficult to see because it's a penumbral eclipse. And that means it's barely seen, or it's a small outer part of the Earth's shadow. And again, as I mentioned before, it's not fully aligned eclipse. So, you know, I'm going to let Adriana explain a little bit more about the full moon and all the things that she has to share, and then I'll come back with some energetics later. Take it away, Adri.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that's great. I'm actually going to go ahead and share my screen just to show the chart. Let's see. Okay, so I have, you can see it, right? I have both charts here. So I have the UK chart here, and then I also have,
Okay.
oh, how do I move this out of the way? Let me just move this down. And okay, so yes, here is the United States chart. This is Eastern time zone, so I put New York, so just as a general reading, but this is going to, what I'm about to say will cover all of that here. So, so yeah, the full moon is in Libra. Libra is in opposition to Aries. So obviously with it being a full moon or lunar eclipse, it will be in opposition to a zodiac sign and to the sun. So it is Aries. And that's really a lot of, feminine and masculine energy coming in with Libra. The ruling planet is Venus, and Aries is the warrior, so that's that Mars energy. So we're having this kind of dance between the masculine and feminine energies going on. The very feminine moon is in a very feminine zodiac sign of Libra, again, corresponding to Venus, the goddess of love, and the feminine archetype. And we're kind of having this protector kind of energy coming in that I was getting intuitively, which I'll talk a little bit more about that soon, with a different aspect to this. This eclipse is all about finding peace and balance, just like the Libra zodiac sign is all about peace and balance. This is going to affect on a personal level, kind of picking your battles and daily routines, especially in the sixth house here for the UK. Maybe it'll feel a little bit differently for those of you in the United States, where it's actually going more so in, let's see here, going actually into the eighth house, but right on the cusp there. So, could be going through a lot of transformations, and a lot of the themes of this is going to be, I have to say, relationship transformations here. Now, don't be too scared of that. There is changes with, eclipses bring change. That's what they've been known through history, and the ancient people have, always seen that with them. But I feel it's actually going to be on a more positive level. If there are any relationships, whether it's romantic or friendships or family, that are on the verge of ending, then I will say that I think that can definitely happen around this time. But it'll actually be more of picking your battles with your relationship here, the relationships that you have with other people. So yes, it could mean endings for some that were already on the verge of ending, but either way, it's going to bring in great healing actually for both parties involved. Okay, so kind of faded actually. So those of us in committed relationships, marriages, can see a lot of positive changes going on and better understandings where there maybe were some disagreements. So finding more neutrality with each other and being able to balance that out. Now, on a global scale, I know we have a lot going on in the world, as we always do. We can definitely see more of a push, I'm feeling intuitively, to have more peace. And I hope this does manifest this way. To have more peace, even if it's a temporary peace or some sort of agreement that will come together here from all the conflicts and even with wars. Like I said, Aries, he is, that's the god of war there. So I think there will be some, like I said, even if it's just a temporary peace being made here or some sort of resolution going on. We could see this maybe post full moon, post the eclipse here. And I would also like to advise to just be a little bit more careful with your spending at this time, as Venus does rule, the planet Venus does rule finances too. So just be a little extra careful of not, going overboard or,
She loves to eat
indulging too
sweets
much.
too. She loves to eat
Yes,
sweets.
I
Why,
do. Yes.
why being Venus for everybody too?
Yes. So, just be a little careful about, overindulging and anything like that when it comes to money, spendings, and things like that. So, like I said, Venus rules Libra. So, but yes, let's see. I will actually have a video posted soon too on this YouTube channel for the horoscopes and how each of you will be affected. Just as a general reading, obviously, you would have to book an astrology reading with either one of us to be able to see more into that or any other things coming up. But I will have a general horoscope video coming up on this channel based off of your zodiac signs. Okay. But yeah, do you want to go ahead and talk about the energetics and the healing with this?
Yep. Yes, absolutely. Well said. Loved it.
Thank you.
So, so what this may mean energetically, as well as astrologically, um, the good thing is that um, Libra energies but this whole eclipse is going to be, again, I mentioned earlier, penumbral. So it's going to be more on the surface. So could it mean that because Libra loves to focus on others, they may not see what is in the shadows lurking deep right within themselves and stick to more of the on the surface things instead of going deep? Okay. And what does this mean to the Sun and Aries energies also, which often prefers to focus wholly on itself as the center of the universe? So we'll be talking about the solar eclipse in before April 8th when that comes about. But I wanted to focus on, as Adriana has too, is on Mars and Venus, because I feel they are a key part to this particular eclipse. Because it's about balancing the opposites. And you can't get more opposite than ultra feminine Venus and the ultra masculine Mars. And both of these planets affect our emotions. Okay, so and they're in Pisces, which is ultra sensitive. So I think the word is ultra here today. I have a feeling. Um, but I really feel too that we're going to feel this through our chakra energy centers. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this in a moment. But the battle is going to be more pride levels, outer layers of ego. I don't see this as being like if this was a Scorpio, like we've been through Taurus and Scorpio when they were the nodes. Okay. So, and when we would go through these things during the eclipses, Scorpio's deep, deep energy. I don't see this here. This is more surface stuff. So, not as surfacey as you don't put the toothpaste lid on the tube. I'm not talking that surfacey. Okay. But it might be more things about how we look or how, these kinds of energies that are more surface based, more ego based. That's what I'm picking up on. Um, so that's just my opinion on that. So what does that mean? So to me, and to very much in Vedic astrology, Venus is related to our belly and heart chakras. So that would be your second and fourth, your yin chakras. And they could play out stories around betrayal, grief, and loss. And they may learn in this eclipse that they have a tendency to overforgive. And it may be that because they never go deep enough, they haven't really forgiven. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people in healing sessions say to me, I forgave that 10 years ago. First off, there's layers of forgiveness. And we could forgive on a more surfacey ego type of forgiveness, but a deep forgiveness, when we truly do that, it's done. And you feel it and you know it. And we're going to visit the Ho'oponopono prayer soon when I'm finished with this part, which is for deep self-forgiveness. So I just think pride is huge in this one. So let's look a little bit at that how, if Venus is only looking at the other, she's not going to see, we're not going to see that Libra part of ourselves. We all have it. We're not going to see the unprocessed pain inside of us because we're choosing not to look at it. So that's something to really think about and meditate on. On the flip side, Mars is related to our root and solar plexus chakras and may have us play out the stories of anger and judgment and disappointment. And they may learn that they have a tendency to not forgive. Okay. And that leaves a lot of unprocessed inner pain. And they are projecting that out to others, or we do. We all have inner masculine, we all have inner feminine. So it's all within us. We all have Mars, we all have Venus. So it's just, but when it shows up in relationships, we have somebody playing the role of Mars and somebody playing the role of Venus. And if we're not balanced between these two sides of ourselves, then there can be this kind of what I call as a soft bruising of the ego. He said, she said kind of stuff. So it's not deep. Does that make sense, Adriana?
Yeah, I totally feel that. Yeah, I
Okay, great.
agree. Yeah.
So on the another cooler pair is the Moon in Libra and the Mercury in Aries. So this is another couple that I look at energetically. And to me, they're like the type B personalities versus the very type A of Mars and Venus. Okay, very different. And I sense that they're going to be helpful in keeping this lunar eclipse less intense than the ones we had in 2023. Those were pretty intense. But with Mercury in Aries and the Moon in Libra, there's going to be maybe more possibilities of intellectually looking at situations, but also balancing that with the empathy. So that can come through with the Moon and the Mercury, with those two. So this may also coincide with the grace of a mutual reception between sextiling Venus and Pisces with Jupiter and Taurus. So Venus rules Taurus and Jupiter rules Pisces. So they're in sync with one another. They are holding hands across like this. They're crossing each other and they're holding each other's hands. So their energy becomes almost like what's called a conjunction, almost like merged. So those energies are going to be very helpful in keeping things more grounded, because we've got an intense amount of air coming in with Aquarius and Pluto affecting everything as well. So we've got a lot of air
Yes,
energy for this whole year. And hang on to your boots
a
because
lot. A
when
lot.
Jupiter goes into Gemini and we lose this Taurus grounding, woo, we're going to be up flying.
That's very
That's
true.
for sure.
Yes. Mhm.
But the Moon in Libra is a harmonizing trine with Aquarius and Pluto. And this type of energy combination can bring about some evolutionary growth as well. So I see, as you do, Adriana, I see a lot of positive in this eclipse
Mhm.
as compared to last year. I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I think it's more positive than negative, I would
Yes,
say too. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
yes. I want to bring in something that's a little bit more advanced, but some of you that are going to be watching us may have that ability to understand this. But I'm keeping it very simple. I'm not going to use a lot of degree points and houses and all that, because when you do this, it's like, unless it's in the area you live, it doesn't really matter, because we can't look at the whole world as one and look at where it is for everybody. I learned that myself, actually.
Mhm.
So, but what I'd like to talk about is the Alpheratz is in Andromeda, and it's a fixed star. And we have it in the North Node, which is in Aries. So here comes Aries again. And the North Node is about what we are becoming. And it is conjunct with Alpheratz, the fixed star. And then also it is in the South Node of what I already know, which is going to be Libra. And that is an opposition. So when they're across from one another, they're opposing one another, as Adriana explained at the beginning of the video. So what does this mean? Well, first off, Alpheratz carries a lot of similar energies as Venus, but it's a more mature Venus, balanced, almost androgynous, with a more evolved harmony between self and other, and the inner and outer. And it also has an emphasis on the higher love. We could have higher love between Venus and Mars as we mature. And even also with the moon and Mercury as well, bringing in a lot more soul level awareness. And that's the goal of, I think, even our heart to heart astrology. What you and I both believe, Adriana, is to get more into developing and evolving our soul energies,
Mhm.
placing less emphasis on the ego. It's not an easy thing. The ego cannot be destroyed. It's impossible. Nobody's figured it out.
Yes, yeah.
But we can certainly have a more healthy ego when the soul is
Sure.
driving the ship.
Mhm.
Um, the ego that's unhealthy is always mutiny, mutiny. I want to be running the ship.
Mm.
And then the spirit and the soul comes up. Oh, yeah, here comes another challenging lesson in your life. And the more the ego starts surrendering to the captain of the ship, it's like, I've got more
Mm.
sailing going on.
Yeah, you
So,
get humbled.
yeah, you do
Yeah.
in a very
Yeah.
non-humbling way.
Yes.
So to kind of close this, and then we can go into the forgiveness Ho'opono prayer, and then
Mhm.
Adriana's going to do her tarot. But all healing work is an inside job. So what I would focus on is, don't look at the other while this eclipse is on. Look inside of you. Look at your own inner masculine. Look at your own inner feminine. And if you do that, you're going to ride this eclipse. You're going to evolve. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. You're going to expand and have more love happen. So, because this is an opportunity to find the courage to look at your shadow. We have to look inside to find the shadow. And we have to know that true forgiveness begins with forgiving yourself. Then we can forgive others. How can we forgive ourselves? Or others if we haven't forgiven ourselves? We don't know how to do it. It's impossible. We're not taught that, unfortunately. As little children, we're like, oh, you've hit so and so. You got to, ask his forgiveness. And, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What about the fact that we don't teach the individual to deal with what they did and then forgive themselves for having done that? This whole world would be so completely different if that would happen. And it could start right at the root, right at the base, at the childhood level. Um, but and then if we forgive others, if we successfully, truly forgive others, then we can receive forgiveness from others. So I'd love to share this Ho'opono prayer, and Adriana and I are going to do it together. And
Oh, just a quick we got
yes,
a running out of time warning, so
we'll
we'll go into our prayer
have
now
a little
again.
bit. Okay, okay. Okay, let's go right into it. So, well, I just want you to know that we could maybe include this. Can we include this in the notes or somewhere so that they could have this prayer?
Yes, I'll put it in the description,
Okay.
definitely.
So the prayer is, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And Adriana and I were going to say it together, or we're going to say it back and forth.
Mhm.
But you got to forgive yourself first. then you have to forgive the other, then in the partner, and then the world. You're going to ask for forgiveness, and then for the world can bring forgiveness to us. There's a 4-part to it. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to start off with forgiving myself. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
And then we are forgiving others.
Yes.
That's the next part, right? Okay, so I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
And then I'm going to say it to the world. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And then now the collective consciousness, the world's going to say it to you yourself. Go ahead, Adri.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Beautiful. It's amazing. We don't think about that 4th step of stepping in. We are the world. We are the world. Michael Jackson, he got
I
it.
I
Gary
just
Bell.
watched that the other day, actually,
Yes.
a few weeks or a
So
few weeks ago.
we can step into that consciousness and we
Yeah,
can stand there and then forgive the little self sitting right here. And it is the most powerful forgiveness. And my fairy bells came in and chimed.
and chiming in. Yeah, I think you really summed that up beautifully when you were saying about it starts with here, with inside instead of
Yeah.
the external. I think you hit the nail on the head with saying that, definitely.
Well, please share your tarot. I hope we have time.
Yeah, I'll make this really quick because unfortunately we're on a timer for this video. But yes, I have the Queen of Pentacles, and it came out with the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck. There's the feminine energy coming in with the Libra energy with these very cute
Oh, I
cat
love it.
illustration. Hope it comes up here.
Yes, I can see
But
it there.
yeah,
Yeah.
so finding stability and, like you were saying, finding the value within yourself. Okay,
Yes.
finding it within yourself, not the
Yeah.
external, not all. I mean, you can, finding that in relationships, but finding that stability for yourself here. So things are really stabilizing with this beautiful Libra energy coming through with this eclipse. So I'm really happy to see that. Okay,
Yes.
the stable Queen of Pentacles, she's got it all going on there. So things will stabilize, even if they don't feel that way. Some things are a blessing in disguise, I think. So
Mhm.
if things don't make sense at first,
Yes.
that is why it will come out to be something more stable and solid.
Beautiful card. Beautiful.
You, yeah, well, thank you for being here with both of us and for listening to us share our message. Please do subscribe so that you can see more of these videos. We are planning to do, like we mentioned, the solar eclipse. And yeah, is there anything if you want to share, if anyone wants to reach out to you or?
Just text me, message me, those of you who know me. I keep it small
Yeah.
and easy
Yes.
and manageable at my age.
Yeah. You do more in
Otherwise,
person. Yeah.
please definitely get in touch with Adriana. She's doing a fabulous job, and
Yes.
I love
Oh,
it.
thank you. I learned from the best. So
I don't know. Yeah, you did take my class, didn't you? We did
yes,
9
yes,
months.
yes. We made it work through the time
I do,
difference.
I
Yeah.
do, I do a beginner, a yoga basic workshop, but it's an in-person thing, and I keep it limited to 4 to 6 people, so
Yeah.
everybody gets really good attention.
Good one-on-one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Someday, if I get good at technical stuff, I might do things, but Adriana's going to do that for us.
Yeah, like I said too, if you want to reach out for tarot reading or astrology readings, I do offer astrology readings now as well. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll have all my details in the description below. And yeah, please, if you enjoyed this video, please do like this, share this. Also, if anything resonates for you, please comment down below. We would love to read your comments
Yes, we
and
love
any.
the comments.
Yes,
Yes.
we really do. We love to see some comments and feedback. So, especially after the eclipse, if something, resonates or happens after that, after hearing this video, please share that with us
And you
and
can
look out.
listen to the video and get,
Yes,
and help yourself journaling and resolving. Absolutely. Good
yes,
point.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, so definitely look out for the next video. And thank you all so much for being here with us. Okay, we'll
Namaste.
see you in the next one.